Hello, my dear readers. This is the girl in charge of this wonderful channel. So, welcome to the Book Corner, where I do book reviews of all different kinds of books. The only condition is that I have to own them. I cannot be borrowing them from the library because I want to have a decent collection of books by the time all is said and done. So, I'm going to use this video to talk about something that has really irked me, and it only started to irk me when I decided to go back and start recollecting a very, very popular series of books called Fear Street by R.L. Stine. Now, this book series came out in I believe, the latter part of the 80s, like 89, I think it was like December of 89 or something like that. I actually have to go back onto Amazon and find out when the New Girl was actually published. But according to Amazon, The Surprise Party came out in January of 1990, so I was about 10 when the book came out. So, this is the book that I got from Myers. When me and my brother moved into this part of Louisville, we discovered that we were near a Myers, and they actually have a pretty decent book selection, or little bookstore. And this is the book that I bought. This is R.L. Stine, Fear Street, the beginning, and it has 4 books in it. It's got The New Girl, The Surprise Party, The Overnight, and The Missing. These are actually in order. So today I finished The New Girl, and I actually did a book review of that book, and then I also wrote a post about what I'm reading next. I have no idea what they're doing. So this actually came out recently, and I was actually just doing some grocery shopping. I picked this up last month, and I happened to go back through their book section, and this book, there was like 3 of them, and when I saw it, I grabbed it. So I officially owned the first 4 books. So before this came out, I went on to Amazon and I was typing in, yeah, they're running their washer. I was typing in like The New Girl and The Surprise Party and The Overnight and Missing, because I wanted to go and start rebuying the Fear Street books. And years ago, when I started to write down the titles of these books, you could get a Fear Street book from the early 90s for 99 cents. Plus you had to pay like $3.99 shipping. Shipping is not cheap. And they were very reasonable. But then something weird happened. He started writing again. I'm not talking about that he had like stopped writing altogether. He did Stink School, and he decided to bring back Goosebumps. So New Generation was introduced to Slappy and everything. But then he started to write his Fear Street books again, all new stories, very different kind of horror than what he had written in the 90s. With like, I know it was like 80s, he did like The Babysitter and Blind Date and The Dead Girlfriend and all that. So what ended up happening was people that had copies of the book, they saw an opportunity to make a lot of money, because a lot of people that might have bought the books when they were teenagers, they don't have the books now. So they want to go and buy them up so that they can have it on their shelf and say to their kids, hey, yeah, this is what I read when I was 13. So what ended up happening was they ended up selling their copies for just insane prices. If you go on Amazon and you try to buy a copy of The Surprise Party, which is the second book in the Fear Street series, you're looking at a couple $100s. So when Simon Pulse brought this book out, which includes The Surprise Party, I was so happy. I didn't care that it was not individual books. They had the book that somebody in some place in the United States wanted me to spend over $500 for. So yeah, I'm not going to be upset that they put it in a big freaking book. So after I bought this book, I said, guess what? I'm going to start buying the other books, and hopefully I can get a good deal for them. Thankfully, you had Goodwills, or you had other used bookstores that were selling the books for reasonable prices. Heck, even $15.99 is reasonable compared to how much a seller in, say, California wants to sell you the book for. I know one was like nearly $1,000. So this is called scalping, where people will take an item that's been around for over a decade, 2 decades, and will charge an inflated price for a book that 10 years ago was 99 cents. And I went on a tirade about this. This is not fair to people that want the book. It's not a golden book. You're selling a copy of a book that is over 3 decades old, a little bit under 3 decades old, and you expect me to part with $900 for a single book? No, I'm not. I could buy food with $900. So you have to be very aware when you are trying to rebuy a series of books that you read when you were a teenager, that you don't get hit with these scalpers. So I have I have plenty of Fear Street books. I have from The New Girl to The Fire Game. I've got 3 of the Super Chillers, and I also have the Cheerleaders, and I have the Fear Street Saga, which is basically the story of how the feud between the Fears and the Goodies. So I have those, and of course I've got more books that I'm going to be purchasing next month. I want to get all of the trilogies. I'm gonna buy one trilogy in, I'm gonna buy. Let's see here. Let's see what I'm getting. I'm getting 99 Fear Street: The House of Evil next month. I'm getting in December. I'm going to get another one, and I'm gonna get another one. So my goal is that by the time next year ends, I will have all of the Fear Street books, including the ones that he brought out. He hasn't brought out a new Fear Street book in a year, so I don't know if he is done writing them for right now. So we got him back a little bit. But it was just outrageous, and I can't believe people want to spend that much money for one book. So, get away from the rant about scalpers. I'm going to do the book review for The New Girl. So, The New Girl is the first Fear Street book that R.L. Stine brought out. And it opens up with the death of a girl called Anna Corwin. And the person who kills her, you can either tell that she's either a friend of Anna's or she's a sibling of Anna's. Either way, Anna was murdered. So what ends up happening is this boy named Corey Brooks encounters her and he is totally infatuated with this girl, and he finds himself in this situation of he calls their house and he's told over and over and over again that Anna is dead. The thing that one of the great things I love about the Fear Street series was that it was published in a decade that you had Walkmans. And I know some people be like, what the heck is a Walkman? A Walkman is a listening device that you would attach to your pants. And they were popular when I was in high school. And you had radios that you actually had to dial the station. You couldn't like press to have like a menu or whatever and all that. No, they did not have smartphones, and they did not have high-speed internet in the 90s. Also, it's also another thing that people are introduced to the idea is that kids did not have cell phones. They actually had to have a phone plugged into the wall to make phone calls, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like, what? But it was a very, very great book. I enjoyed the ending immensely. I knew who had done it, but I didn't know her name. And I'm not going to tell you who did it because, I'm not going to ruin it for people. But overall, The New Girl was excellent, and I'm very happy that I was able to read it. So tomorrow I'm going to be starting on The Surprise Party. And The Surprise Party actually is see here, has 23 chapters in it. This one, the last time I read it was in 2014. I totally forgot the plot of the book, and I don't know who is the person that is going to be the problem. So, yeah. Sorry about that. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you for the one person who has subscribed to me so far. I really appreciate it. I will get around to reading my Nancy Drew books, but I am going to do a book review of the first 2 books of the Trials of Apollo, and I look forward to doing that. So until next time, read on and stay healthy, guys. Bye.